What if I tell you that everything you know about diamonds is fake? Diamonds are a worldwide symbol of power and wealth, but is it really like this? For centuries, gold has been the most precious material, even within unrelated societies, but now the prices of the two goods are absolutely incomparable.
On the right-hand side of the screen, you have about $100,000 worth of diamond. On the left-hand side of the screen, you have about $5,000. There's a big difference.
Firstly, let's understand how gold became what it's today. Already in the Egyptian civilization, gold was largely used, mainly in jewelry, because of its unique color and brightness, the malleability, but mostly for being completely stainless, therefore timeless. The trade of this metal became so intense that the Egyptians started using it as a medium for international trade around 1500 BC. Only 1,000 years later, in Lydia, today Turkey, they started to produce the first gold coins to easily exchange fixed amounts comparable to today's bars. This is an historical moment not only for international trade, but for the whole concept of economy itself. During his trip on the Silk Road, Marco Polo, along with many discoveries, brought the concept of banknote, which actually had been in use since the Tang dynasty, 1,000 years prior to his visit. This concept was a game changer, giving birth to the gold standard, which has been in place for centuries, until Nixon decided otherwise.
Surprise, motherfucker.
But let's talk for a moment about diamonds. Unlike gold, diamonds have not always been seen the way we do now. The first use of the gemstone was as tools for polishing, therefore traded at a low price. Fast forward to the 11th century, when people started using diamonds in jewelry, but never as central stone. Even if the polishing technique were discovered in the 14th century for another 500 years, diamonds were not what we think as today. If it's true that the cutting technique gradually revealed more and more the beauty and shines of diamonds, no one was particularly interested in them, preferred emeralds, rubies, sapphires, and obviously the good old gold. Now what happened changed the history of this gemstone forever. In 1863, the famous brilliant cut was invented, giving a completely new allure to the stone while large diamonds were constantly discovered in South Africa, raising awareness to the richness of that land. At the same time, the powerful family of bankers Rothschild financed the Dutch-owned company De Beers to establish the biggest extraction point in the world, not only creating a whole new market, but establishing themselves as a monopoly since their foundation. In fact, at its peak, De Beers controlled 90% of all diamonds in the market, 63% today, dictating the supply, therefore the price. By doing so, De Beers was able to create a market, spreading a false sense of rarity of diamonds that we now know was artificially created by them.
More profound than words. Diamonds.
This marketing campaign rewrote history, linked with the extensive use in Hollywood movies by established stars, forced the narrative of an incomparable metric of both wealth and love. De Beers promoted the idea of spending 3 times one's monthly salary on an engagement ring, convincing all of us that the size of the diamonds is directly proportional to the amount of love of the proposer, linking a long-lasting relationship to the self-proclaimed timeless item. But we know this is not the case. So let's compare the two goods. Which one is the best choice for an investment? While from one side the supply of the diamonds has been always artificially controlled by one company, the amount of gold is naturally limited, and unless they find $1 trillion mine somewhere, the supply of gold is stable, allowing the market to regulate its price. In fact, we keep seeing a tendency from investors to allocate their resources during bear market in stable commodities, especially gold, to not only fight against the inevitable and constant inflation of all fiat currencies, but to preserve the wealth as well in case of potential major international crashes, since it's known that gold is the only asset that doesn't lose power over time. For this reason, the price of gold is most often inversely proportional to the global market's trends, especially after the introduction of the fiat currency in 1971 by the United States. And diamonds? Well, diamonds are defined by some people as commodities as well, even if they are not exchanged like gold or oil because they don't have a big manufacturing use. It is also noteworthy of mention that, unlike gold, when reselling diamonds, there's a depreciation between 25 and 50% of the purchasing price. Another aspect to keep in consideration are the natural competitiveness of markets. While gold seems irreplaceable, more and more in the last years, the market is flooded by same quality, if not even better lab diamonds, sold at 30 to 40% less than their natural counterpart.
What?
This is a serious threat to this industry, severely damaging the image of timeless stone and bringing awareness to the controlled supply and the fake myth of scarcity. The lab-made diamonds industry has seen an exponential growth in the last few years, reaching $12 billion in global sales just in 2022, with an annual growth of 38%, representing the 17% of the industry. The astronomical rise of these synthetic diamonds forced De Beers to an incredible 40% cut in sales prices of their products, raising concerns about not only the use of diamonds as investments, but also the future of the industry itself. These are data to suggest that people are not as interested in natural diamonds as they used to be, and they are opting more and more for cheaper alternatives. If it's true that both diamonds and gold can be taken in consideration when doing an investment, it is important to keep in mind that even if both demands are the results of social conventions, gold has been desired and traded for thousands of years, being for the most of it the backbone of every economy in the world, and still being a valid alternative to cash, protecting the wealth from inflation and monetary depreciation, or even in the very remote yet not impossible case of a return to the gold standard. On the other hand, diamonds have been popularized thanks to one company that has artificially pumped the need to own one, creating a whole market from scratch which does not seem to not be at its glory. Congratulations, you just got to the end. If you like this video, why don't you check out this one where I explain why all terrorists are using the same car?